this should be perfectly convertible for for a
not
player.
with those two sexy pawns. Excuse me.
No. This was more than your silly
Just
bishop
thinking
on
bishop.
a5.
I'm going to figure out another move to make you suffer, but no way in the world we're just going to let your bishop do the job there.
I want to do this.
Whoa, he did it. He did it.
He did go c7.
He did. He just gave away his pride and just played the knight back. And he said, with a little hesitation, by the way, I am pretty surprised that he made those choices in that position. There was no reason. I don't think there was a reason to rush that, even though clearly he's up a piece and doing quite well in the position. But I am a little surprised to see that move on the board.
But sometimes, once again, it optically very pleasing to have c6, d6 pawn, but maybe he kind of convinced himself that I will win this. Yeah, so the knight on d5, the queen, as I was trying to highlight, gets on b2, and then knight f6 will be a very serious threat. Knight f6 or f4 and f6 is a weakness.
Bishop d2.
Middle game, in middle game, having an extra piece is
King
very
f6.
beneficial because you have more pieces. You can attack the king.
I love your analysis there.
Yeah. More pieces, more better.
More pieces means more pieces, indeed. And hey, you're up a piece for 2 pawns. Let's go for it. I'm watching the Mirzin Grigorian game. He is playing very slowly as the youngster, but there is no danger at the moment anyway in his position. Should be just a clinical draw, many ways, in fact, to do so. Not anything that black can do there. So we will keep an eye on that one and come back if there's anything dramatic.
So shall we go board 3, board 4?
Let's do it.
Nepo against Savian on board 3. That's an endgame with some small margins, chess, you call it?
h4.
Right? Like a pair of bishops, but nothing dramatic. Pair of bishops for Jan Nepo. And even computer says it's equal. So I do not know if Jan really had anything out of the opening. If it was there, it's no longer there, especially after this knight d4.
Sam Sevian is definitely a tough customer to
F
beat.
takes g4.
He won the Chess 960 last year against a gaggle of gangsters in the St. Louis event, the Chess 9LX it's called, with all the top U.S. players, and I believe Garry Kasparov as well. So he's tough. You're not just taking Sam down. He can play some chess. So there, Nepo is looking around for some sort of advantage. We don't see it. But we had a very exciting game at least a very exciting setup, unusual setup with Firouzja and Erigaisi. Let's see that position.
Yeah. Board 4.
On board 4, yes.
So both castled long. It's actually more of a... Strangely, it does appear to be closer to some Sicilian positions.
Yes.
If you're talking Richter-Hauser, so the pawn went here, then white... okay, I'll try to highlight it. White went e5, those pawns traded, and black went d5. So this is how you get this kind of structures.
Good. That was amazing, an amazing reconstruction, and a lot of people are still sitting at home going, what the heck was he talking about? But you're dead on right. I see what you were doing there, and you're right. This is some kind of Richter-Hauser this could come out of, with, of course, queenside castling by
Bishop
black,
g3.
which is slightly unusual, but happens.
It happens, yeah. It does happen in Richter-Hauser more often than in the French. That would be my argument, yeah.
Right,
like
no,
French,
I love the way you reconstructed that.
F7.
For those of you who didn't catch that, take a look what Miro was talking about, because it's very important that you're able to spot structures and structural changes and what happened and the kind of things you would do in this specific structure. It doesn't look as though black should be super happy, though. The bishop on e8, much like a French and not like a Richter-Hauser, although, yes, the bishop goes to d7, but e8 square, the bishop looks a little anemic. But, they say bad bishops defend good pawns.
Yeah.
It looks like a bad bishop defending a bad pawn in this position.
Well, look, but he knows this quote because he goes bishop c5, and you would think black's dark square bishop supposed to be, okay, not better, but like at least not worse than white's. He wants to trade these bishops because, now let's assume he just takes queen c7, knight d7. All of a sudden, this pawn is not super safe. Queen c7, rook g8, rook g5. Okay, I'm making quite a few moves in a row for black, but you can imagine this e5 pawn needing some attention.
All right, let's jump back quickly to the Mirzin-Grigorian game because you'll see an important change
It did
has transpired as a trade happened on G4. And so the board is a little bit more open.
Yep.
And
F5.
Down to 6 minutes and 30 seconds is Mirzin. He's got plenty of time to navigate this endgame. His opponent is 4 minutes up on the clock. And we have seen it before. Dead drawn. We saw it in the last game of the women's tournament.
Right.
Dead drawn. No issues. Looks easy. Oops. Time pressure makes fools of us all. And suddenly you make a mistake and there you go. So Volodar has to really be mindful of the clock. You see he's a little bit nervous. He's trying to play perfect defense, maybe a little too perfect, and that could possibly cost him the game. He's down a pawn in this position, willingly so. He didn't have to go down a pawn. He just believes so much in his position, but now he's staring at the board and
man, once again, have you seen like a bit of indecisiveness? He was about to make a move and then backed again.
I can't imagine. You know, they have those heart monitors these days. The heart monitor, the palpitations that's going on in this young man's chest as he realizes that a draw wins him the title. And he's just played the move H5.
H5.
And
nothing wrong with that one.
No, it's hard to imagine anything wrong anywhere in his position. It's just surprising he's taking so long to make all these moves. There it is. It's just the tension of the moment that's doing it for him, and we see nothing there. And I'm looking at other games, and nothing much happening elsewhere either. You know, right around now is when people who have been playing to a certain elite level match each other. I've been playing well, you've been playing well. It's hard to beat the player who's been playing well. You might see draws on every single one of these top boards. You shouldn't be surprised if that happens because all these players have had great tournaments, relatively speaking, some more so than others, but they're all playing well. And when you're in that kind of flow, you're difficult to beat. So you just want you can expect that the players will have some kind of equalish positions all around, and that's what we're seeing here.
They're also getting tired, right?
Fatigue is also a factor. Good point. Very good point. And I'm looking at these boards. I'm not seeing much except that game where Dubov tricked Abdusatorov, and he's definitely up a straight bishop in this position. Should win the game, but there's still a long way to go. As we know, Abdusatorov has great defensive skills. But in the meantime, this is the board. This is the critical game as this young man is about to burst. He's already done it, but really burst on world fame and show that he belongs. And now we see a little hesitation there. Grigorian looking for the
bishop
move, and he's
to H4 to
bringing his
G5.
bishop around.
I guess what he wants to do.
Yes, the bishop ending is drawn, but the knight ending, tricks happen.
Yeah,
tricks happen. So you don't want to trade off your bishops. Those bishops, I should say. And
Bishop
Mirzin
F4.
has to be a little bit careful.
Can he go knight B4? By the way,
I would, but be a little careful though.
Computer doesn't like it.
Yeah, be a little careful. I was about to say because that black king bothers me a little bit in this ownership of the diagonal, followed by the king's entry. Yeah, no, you got to be careful right now.
I just lost suggesting knight B4.
Just lost that with that move. Yeah, that was one of those we'd fall for. But bishop F4 much better. Grabbing this diagonal, the knight is perfect on D3.
Yeah, you don't want to move in this.
Bishop
no
G5,
and we're expecting bishop G5 played, and now.
Just drop it back, I guess?
I can't believe bishop takes is a good move. Let's see that move. It may be, but
no.
This looks.
I mean, it doesn't lose, but now black clearly has an advantage.
No, you might end up in Zugzwang somehow. Yeah. Don't play this way, but play a little bit faster. Same moves quicker. Come on now. This is for the title. Move your bishop off the diagonal.
Bishop G3.
And just
D6,
go. Wherever you want to put it. Just put it somewhere. This is the problem, having options, and he's under 5 minutes. All right, breathe. And he's played your move, bishop G3. Same move faster.
Yeah.
Could have been played before. Bishop G3 played. And again, Not much going on here. Very difficult. The pawn will end up on B3 probably at some point.
Yeah, you
The
probably
white
go
pawn on
B3.
B2. And then you just move your king back and
Yeah,
forth.
you shuffle king f3, king e2, and how on earth do you make progress? Like, black moves the bishop away, you can always give a check to make sure king is not going to g5.
H6.
If bishop goes back, you go back with the bishop. That's it.
He's okay. Maybe we're
Right.
more nervous than he is, but I am definitely nervous for him. And the move H6, just playing
H6,
solidly there.
well,
Okay,
potentially,
King
he's
F3. Come on. Bishop H2. King H3. King F3. What? Bishop C7.
Yeah.
Make a move.
Do whatever, just don't sleep, yeah?
Yeah, come on. Just what are you doing? What are you considering? B3.
B3
All
is
of the
good.
above. Is any of those? Are any of those wrong?
Okay, let's try. B3 equal.
Yeah.
B3 equal. Bishop,
H2?
I believe bishop H2 is equal.
Yeah. Bishop C7.
King F3 equal.
Equal.
Bishop
Bishop-
C7 equal.
Bishop D6.
B3.
Same, Maurice. No, no. like make a move.
Make a move, dude. Like, you're thinking too much. Just make the move and keep it going. I understand the pressure is on, but yo, you cannot let the clock turn into your enemy. That would be disastrous. That is the only thing I'd be worried about in this position. Start getting into flow and not have to play blitz and possibly blunder, and his opponent just waiting like a snake for a mistake so he can just
Right.
put the fangs in. Don't take too long and blow this position. And
Yeah, B3 is nice, right? I mean, it's just a reasonable move. Just play it a little faster, as you said.
say move
yeah?
fast and prepare your moves now. Some kind of move. I'm moving my bishop. My next move is a bishop move. My next move is a king move. What's the guy going to do? He's got nothing. If he moves the bishop, the only thing to remember, as the point you made, if the bishop comes down, let's say to E3, play bishop
E5.
H4,
Play
keep
check
the king
and
out,
go back.
and then bring the
Play
bishop
check
back.
and go back.
Just bid it. You got
A4.
it. You're not doing anything. I'm not sitting there waiting around for you. And he has, move was played? And okay, he was ready with his next move. Okay,
B takes
this
A4.
last
A5
move.
and A4.
This one, okay, that still looks good. Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, good.
too many targets, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Now at some point you can go to C7.
Right,
then
and
even
tie that
B6.
guy down. All right. I'm feeling it.
Ah,
The
he's
A4
still-
was,
he's
and he
still
played it
absolutely
quickly.
fine.
He was ready for the B5 move, so I like it. I like it for sure. That was definitely a useful move, and black can really do not much. That's what you want to know. This structure just cannot be broken, and I like the fact that he played A4 very quickly. He's got the memo, and his opponent now with a 2-minute lead on the clock, but looking around, he wants to maintain that lead, but he also wants to make some kind of progress, make it difficult
Right.
for
And
his opponent, and it doesn't look like it's there.
I'm not saying it. Yeah.
We are
Like,
minutes away now from him winning this tournament. We should still see some moves. So why don't you jump away from this and go to the Nepo game, where Nepo has a magnificent advantage on the clock, about 5-minute advantage on the clock. So let's get that position. I think we
Well,
can leave this position.
no, he's a pawn out.
Oh, wait, he is a-
yeah,
wait,
he's a pawn out.
How did that happen?
So something like 90. Yeah, I don't see. The too many moves were played. So 94. Where did he lost this pawn? C4, 93. Like Sam kind of,
Messed
I want
around
to
and
say,
just gave him the pawn.
sacrificed or lost the pawn.
Why did he do that? I guess he thinks should be a draw.
A4, rook H1. So now after rook D1, the rook can escape for now. I mean, it should be a draw objectively, but still, why would
I mean-
you?
Yeah, why would you play this position?
Anyway, it's gonna go. Yeah, rook H4 from Nepo. You know what? It's not that trivial, because one of the ways would be to go E5, Fe5, bishop E5. The rook moves on the 4th rank. It's still potential. There's still potential for Nepo to win.
I'm not a fan of this position for black. Now that I see that there's clearly an extra pawn on the board, we'll see how that one goes. Nepo will be milking this as much as possible. And his rook H4 was very quick, which has now left Sam under 2 minutes to play. He's got to start picking them up and putting them down. And Nepo, you know how he is.
Yeah.
He's just going to be blitzing out his moves, adding pressure on every single move, knowing full well that he's got you under control with the E5 break coming at any moment, really on his terms. So that one is tough. Suddenly, by the way, in Murzin Grigorian, Murzin hasn't moved since we've been talking. So let's go back to it,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm curious as to why that is.
No,
he has been sitting
Bishop
there.
E3.
Gregorian didn't move.
Gregorian, excuse me, my apologies. That's what I meant. Gregorian hasn't moved, and now he's actually under, for the first time, under
Bishop
on time
H4
against
check.
Murzin, and Murzin is ready with Bishop H4 check. And
And-
will we see it? Bishop G5 is definitely a concession,
Yeah.
but his time is worse now, and the check has been played, and we're really, you can just move your king, but
Okay.
you get
if
no
move your
progress.
king,
Look at that face. That is not a confident-looking man, and he knows that he just wishes there were more to play for, and he's head in hands now looking at his clock.
will he play Bishop G5, Maurice?
I think right around now he's probably conceded that there's just
Bishop
no
G3.
way to win,
Like-
and he's starting to be a little bit nervous.
Look at
Bishop
the body
G5 on
language.
the
Yeah,
board.
Bishop G5.
We are potentially seconds away from crowning a victor, and his name will be Volodar Murzin. Unreal. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I never heard of the kid before today. Before this tournament, I should say.
Right.
But I got him imprinted on my brain now because he has shown the mettle of a future champion. A star is born right here in New York City.
Well, after Bishop G3, so Gregorian once again looking for the way to continue this game, but it's not only that he cannot see it, it could be just not there.
There's nothing there.
No.
We know there's nothing there. We can tell. We could probably draw this position sitting there at the table, and that's saying a lot. That's saying
Seriously,
a lot.
I'm relatively confident.
But I'm
Bishop
pretty
H4
confident
check.
I'd hold this one. Just everything is just perfectly placed. Bishop E3 on the board, Bishop H4 check, and with Bishop to G5 and Bishop, before playing Bishop G3, he can claim a 3
Yeah.
move repetition. Are we seeing it now? That flick of the eyebrows suggests I ain't got anything here. Actually, if I'm black, I'm playing King E6. I mean, what? It can't hurt.
What's
Right?
the problem?
It can't hurt. Why don't we just play it?
can't hurt.
The problem is you never really get to play Bishop G5 back again. So, but whatever. If you're going to play. Keep the
Bishop
position going. He's
G5.
now at 247. He is almost half the time, and it's been played, and it's over. He has
It's
done
over.
it. The kid pulled off a miracle here in
Man.
New York. Volodar Murzin is the champ, and look at the smile on his face.
Finally can relax.
Wow. Incredible, extraordinary. This kid did it.
Absolutely amazing. I believe this is our visual effect. It's not the fake confetti.
It's
in the
definitely
playing
visual
hall.
effect, but he deserves all the confetti, all the cheers. Friends and family must be in tears at the moment. We see a
Congratulations
big
once
hug
again.
there from maybe it's a well-wisher or maybe it's a relative, but everyone there, I mean, they just can't believe this has taken place. And the arbiter's like, chill. No, don't tell me to chill. I want to jump up and down. I want to dance. A party time. The kid's not even old enough to drink here in New York, legal age in the U.S. that is. But
Wow,
he'll probably fix that when he gets back to his home country, and there he can walk with some swag. The winner of this tournament, Volodar Murzin, amazing
world champion. World champion.
Not just like junior world champion,
Absolutely.
not
That's what
under
I'm
18
trying to
world
get-
champion.
I'm trying to get used to this. Like,
What's a world
not
championship?
under 20, not under 18, but just a world champion.
The world champion of Rapid with these players and the players that he beat.
That's absolutely crazy. Man, I'll have to read it out once again. His result, round after round. So a win in round one, well, when he was a favorite against International Master. Then a win in round two against Fabiano Caruana.
Oh, that
casually.
guy?
Alexander Bortnik round 3, Lenderman round 4. That's a start of his journey. And in round 5, on the day 1, he drew against the Iranian. That was day 1, 4.5 out of 5. Day 2, Dominguez, Erigaisi, Giri, 3 draws in a row, win against Hikaru. And today, win against Duda, draw against Grishuk. This crazy game against Prague, which he was that far away from losing this one. Yeah,
And the
final-
magical King March that we'll never forget. And there he is being interviewed. And he's like, dude, I can't believe it myself. I can't tell you.
That-
Incredible.
that's-
How he kept his composure. the tenacity, the
But
resilience.
seriously, he cannot believe himself, I believe, that this has happened. Now, congratulations. No, that's absolutely amazing. Result.
Amazing indeed. We can't overstate that. Just his result is nothing short of spectacular, one of the most spectacular ever. By the way, Nepomniachtchi eviscerated Sam Sevion in that endgame. I mean, wow, we thought it was bad, but we didn't think it was just going to be over like that.
And
he completely
he
crushed him. Look at this final position. Bishop is of what opposite color? What are you talking about? Show us how he got here, because he played rook f4 and it just made it look easy after rook f4.
Rook to f4, king e7, it was already perhaps a bad move. g4, e5. Well, the thing with Nepo, he makes it look ridiculously easy winning positions like that. Check, and he says, you know what, I do not need the e5 pawn.
Amazing.
I'm going after the other ones. Rook to d7, take this guy. I also go here. If you trade, I go back and collect all of your stuff. So check here, bishop d5, rook e3, insisting on rook trade. Because g7 is going to fall, h6 is going to fall, and it's a game. Check,
Incredible.
king
He made
g3,
that
and that is it.
simple. You should never have given up that pawn.
No.
Bishop opposite color. No, my friend. Not with your pawns fixed on the color of my bishop, and not with rook still on the board. That was not a draw whatsoever. Poor Sam went down in flames very quickly in that endgame. Well, let's go take a look at some other boards. Fabian and Anish did draw their game. And
Firouzja Regaisi is the one which are we interested the most, because we know the name of the winner, and then Grishuk is caught up by Nepo in tie for the second. And if one of those folks wins, either Firouzja or Regaisi, they will be in tie for the second as well. Which doesn't mean any playoff. We only cared about the first place.
yes,
Right.
we're happy there's no playoff, frankly. But look at this position though. Dubov Abdusatorov. Take a look at that one.
Dubov Abdusatorov. Yeah. Let me
Up a
bring-
piece, remember?
Yeah.
But guess what? It ain't what it used to be. I'm not exactly thrilled
You're
by
probably-
this piece advantage.
You're probably winning, but it's getting harder and harder. It is getting harder and harder.
Especially if you could somehow magically trade off the pawns on the king side for everything
No, I mean,
else.
if these two are away, like if there is no f pawn, I believe it should be a draw. Not necessarily. There are still ideas. Yeah. But it is hard. It is hard.
This
to
is
win.
not easy. If you could pick off the f7 pawn, sure. But he's not going to let you do that. And so the defense has been arduous, intense indeed. And so this one does look as though it is going to be a challenge. And the other game we were talking about was that game with Firouzja and
Regaisi.
And let's go back to that one. This looks much richer. I'm not feeling Black's position at all, but he is up a pawn.
Yeah, he's up a pawn, and if you ask, the engine, who's not impressed with our Nimzovich knight, and it's equal. Race, it's equal. It's your typical equal position with all black pieces being on the last rank.
Yeah, right. No, I would not be comfortable at all in this position with the black pieces, even up a pawn here. This is going to be a lot of work indeed, as Firouzja will continue to hunt. Most likely, though, wait a second, how much time does he have in his clock, does Firouzja? Is it 9 seconds? Am I seeing that correctly?
No, but that's...
4, 3,
that's
I'm seeing a countdown that means he has to blitz his moves. And, okay, he went down to 2 seconds. He went down to 2 seconds. That does matter. There's no question. That does indeed matter. So Firouzja, with just a little bit of time on the clock, we'll keep an eye on that for sure. But we have the man of the hour, the man of the weekend. Absolutely incredible result. Congratulations, Grandmaster Volodar Murzin, for winning the World Rapid. I'm impressed, my friend. First of all hail, all hail. Congratulations. I'm not sure your level of English. Is it we can just talk naturally, or would you need a translator?
I can speak, but sometimes maybe...
Oh, you sound great. Forget it. We're going to hang. Let's just talk about this first of all. You knew you were coming to New York. You're going to play against all these great players. Was there any part of your mind that said, I'm going to go win the tournament?
Yeah, well, I will come to win, of course, yes. I don't know. I want to... I don't know.
If you want to do it in Russian, it's fine. We have a translator.
No, I'm
here.
just a little bit nervous.
Oh, I
because-
understand. It's a
Yes.
big moment. It's okay. You're among friends and fans as well. It must be this beating in your heart, like that you have actually done this. Can you believing it right now that it happened?
Yeah, of course I believe it. I hope that's not a dream. Yes, I don't know what to say. I'm really happy.
I can imagine you beat some incredible players. I mean, the names. You first beat Fabiano Caruana. You beat Hikaru Nakamura. That crazy game, the King March against Pragdananda. Like, it was insane, almost like a fairy tale. When this was happening, as you started and drawing all those great players as well, when this was happening, were you feeling like, I can do this. I'm ready.
I don't know. Okay, sometimes I got lucky because I have, I don't know, maybe 2 lost position, but I don't know. I won that, so I'm happy.
We say luck goes to the strong. You can be lucky, but you've got to make your own luck. That King March, by the way, we were like shocked beyond belief when that king was marching down the board. Did you think it was okay when you were doing it, bringing your king into E2, and maybe we could pull that game up so we can take a look, bring the king to E2 and F1 against Prague, or did you just say, man, I just got to make moves?
No, I think I don't know that's good or not because I didn't see my game, but I want to make some chance because I need to make something because my bishop on a5 it's trap, yeah, and I'll try to make some chance with king e4, king f3. I have some idea, maybe rook g4 with idea rook h2 and rook h4, rook g4 to make some draw, yeah. If he want to take my bishop, I don't know.
Get the draw. Yeah, we saw that line, as a matter of fact. It was a great idea. Are there friends and family watching right now at home? Do you think they're up? It's kind of late at home, but they must have parents. Who's watching? Who was rooting you on? Who was your support system?
I have 4 sisters.
4 sisters.
Yes.
Are you the youngest?
3 is the youngest, one is not.
Okay.
He's older than me.
All right, so you're second. Uh-huh.
I hope so. What they're watching, but I know what my mother watching for sure. Yeah.
Did you want to say anything to mom if she's watching right now? You can say it in Russian if you want.
I don't know what to say. I'm happy.
Well, we can confirm it's not a dream. You are the world champion.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, that was an incredible result. You really regaled us with your play. We're very impressed. Your future in chess. By the way, I did have one question. What is the biggest tournament you've ever won? What is the biggest title you own?
This tournament.
Well, other than this one, have you won? I know you won the under 12 World Championship, I believe. I think I saw on Wikipedia. Did you win the under 12-year-old World Championship in 2018 or something?
I don't remember.
No, okay, so what's the biggest tournament, other than this tournament, that you have ever won?
This tournament, I don't
This
know.
is it.
This is the one. Maurice,
Come on.
Maurice,
If
why
you're gonna
would
win
you
the
want to
one,
do
win this
anything
one.
else?
I'm stunned because usually, you know, there's something that builds us up and says, okay, he's on his way. You just came out of nowhere like a shooting star, landing here in New York and winning. Your first time in New York, I imagine?
Yes, first time.
What do you think about winning in New York City? Do you have any idea that you're coming to a city like New York and this is where you win your World Championship title?
You mean what I feel?
Just being in New York itself. New York has a kind of magical history, a magical vibe. People want to visit New York City, and you come here and you conquer the city. You conquer all the players, but you also win here in New York. Does it matter that you're here in a place like New York City winning, or are you just happy you won?
I don't know. I always want to be in New York. Yeah. This is how to say. I don't know how to say.
But seriously, say in Russian, I'll translate it. No worries.
Здесь много очень достопримечательностей, которые я уже посмотрел. Я приехал за 3 дня и уже много где побывал. Да, мне было очень интересно.
Okay, so he says a lot of landmarks. He arrived 3 days before and seen a lot of historical places and so on. So he was very interesting. So part of it was like exploring New York,
Yes.
and yeah, as a side gig, winning world champions.
Right, absolutely. Well, let me tell you, we say in New York, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. So
Yeah.
winning this one is maybe just a start to a wonderful career. Congratulations again. You are the world rapid champion,
Thank you.
Grandmaster Volodar Muzhin.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Fantastic result.
Thank you.
Wow. This is one of
Man.
those stories you want to see happen in this tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, you just witnessed history. A young man, modest, mild, soft-spoken, but an absolute gangster on the chessboard. And he just showed it again and again. And under the brightest lights in New York, he became one of the landmarks himself. This is something I'm sure never going to forget. Very, very impressive result. Well, let's get to some games. Kind of anticlimactic in some way.
No,
But we have crowned the champion, and two champions, in fact, as Humpy Canaru won the women's section. And now, let's take a look. Are there any games that look challenging? Ferrugia versus Aragaisi.
It's fair square again.
That's-
Like white has some stuff more active, but also black rook is way too active for white to have anything serious. It seems. Yeah.
All right, let's go to that game, Duba versus Abdusattorov. This one is winning according to
Yeah,
the...
Dubov Dusatoro. It is. Well, now it is completely winning. Now it is completely winning. He saved the G pawn, right? So there is no way the G pawn is getting traded.
Well, tell me how you win.
Slow by slow, little by little, as they say. King to F4, I'm guessing.
Okay, and?
Rook behind, rook check.
And get
Slowly,
the king up.
slowly.
And
Yeah,
you're
I'm
gonna win the
getting
F pawn,
somehow
is what
the
you're
F
saying.
pawn. Right.
You're trying to win the F pawn clean. I agree that it's winning, but I'm going to say, yeah, you're trying to win that F pawn. I see potential draws happening here. There's some 20% draw result, even if you are winning the position.
Bishop
see that
C4,
there's,
King G7.
there's something that still has to be done. A little bit of work
Okay,
that still
5.
needs to get done here.
But yeah, but the problem for black is that a2 is controlled. So one of the ways would be you put the pawn on a3, and if I get too far with the king, you go a2 and always threaten the check, right? But you cannot go a2.
It's a
right?
big problem. Definitely a
a3,
big problem.
and he can put the bishop on b3. So if the rook moves, attacks the bishop, he can always collect.
By the way, Duda went down in flames against Sindarov, so that was an upset in the last round. Duda was doing quite well in this tournament before losing. Yu Yang-yi and Ray Robson drew. Pragnananda drew against Murad Lee. Wei Yi defeated Brandon Jacobson, the young American. Aronian and Yasipenko drew. Hikaru Nakamura and Hans Niemann are still playing.
Let's watch this one.
Let's go get some just for kicks. And it's Hans Niemann who's up a piece.
It's Hans Niemann who is, well, he has a winning position against Hikaru Nakamura, man.
Yeah, he does have a winning position, and I'm not sure if we have a camera on that board.
Yeah,
'cause
perhaps
it's on
we do.
board 12. It looks like we don't have a camera, but Hikaru must be shaking his head, whatever the case may be, as he is currently down a piece. It is move 73, 72, King H8, and that extra piece we see there, that could easily win this game
Yeah, Queen E5 and the H5, check and take the pawn.
and take
Yeah.
the pawn. That's just a pawn, and he's taking it. And,
Right.
and that is
The king's safe. You go here, you go here.
No,
Everything's
this is over.
covered. Yeah,
This
it
is over. Hans Niemann will win this game against Nakamura to close out his tournament in a good note. That is on board 12. Nakamura is just completely lost here. Move the queen, push the pawn. Yeah?
Yeah, check. Well, maybe still, have to be a little careful.
Little work.
Nah, yeah, but
A
it
little
should be,
work
it should
for
be,
sure,
should be
but it is
relatively
a
easy
winning position. Shakhriyar Mamadurov won his game, and I'm looking down the board. Wesley So lost in the last round, all the way down on board 20. We haven't spoken about him for a very long time, and Shimanov was able to defeat him in the last round, so that is an upset. And there are some boards all the way down. I'm just looking, but not really relevant.
I
for
think
us.
the very top ones. So Irgaisi Ferrugia is still in progress.
Yeah, we can go back. Well, This one here, I'm not sure if you want to look at it or we just assume that it's a win for.
It's a win. We don't have a camera there.
All right,
so I'm
then let's go
thinking-
back to, as you said, Erigaisi versus Ferrugia. Ferrugia's been toying around at 3 seconds and having to build up and make some quick moves. But let's see, they are still
Well, at least
within the
something.
drawing margin, but an exciting looking position.
Yeah, at least something has changed, right? Bishop e2, knight to c8, and now white is winning. Knight c8 apparently was a very bad mistake. Or knight b8.
Knight
that
B8,
is.
you mean?
Right,
And-
right.
But he did not exploit
Rook
it.
d6 was, rook
the
d6, rook
winning move.
d5 was the winning move, but they're low on time, both of them.
Yes, with all this time
Check.
pressure, it's not easy.
Okay, one.
I am liking white though. Everything about
Yeah.
the position says
Yeah,
white
bishop f3
has real chances to win this game, even if the engine keeps
somehow
going back and
keeps
forth saying
defending,
that it's equal or it's better or whatever. This is the kind of position where you lose this as black. White has the trumps, the bishop, the active rook, the passed pawn. A lot going for white's position that forces Argent to have to defend, and it's just not going to be an
check
easy
from
defense.
a2. So what did you go? King e3, I'm guessing. Rook c2 and capture on d5.
There's
Is
a-
that what you have to do? And king d4, and you do win the pawn even. It's just that it's so limited material left on the board. That might.
A pawn is a pawn, excuse me. I mean,
Oh
yeah.
wait, you cannot take it immediately. I'm guessing because there is knight c6 and this pawn will fall. Right. So king d4, rook c1. If bishop c4, knight c6, check.
King c5.
Yeah, bishop c4, knight c4, check here. You cannot take the pawn. There is a kind of drawish line, but is it draw? Knight b8 equals. That's how computer plays this position. No.
Pawn has
No.
been captured.
Pawn
And
has
he did
been
not play that
captured.
move, but
He
this
did not.
check-
Yep. So bishop c4, check. And you cannot go here, Maurice, because
Knight
knight d7 is a
d7
checkmate in one.
That's pretty darn funny, actually.
Yeah, so you have
That
to
is
go,
pretty funny.
gotta drop the king back, and he can continue his checks. He can continue his checks. Wait a second.
No, but the king will get to b2 eventually, no? Wait, he's going back up. What's that about? That's useless. He's just going to check
To
him again.
d4, and then it's a check. If you go this direction, then I'm guessing knight c6, make sure that the pawns are getting traded. Yeah, he's probably gonna hold. By the way, Dubov did win. I mean, it's confusing. It either says Dubov won and then returns back to showing the games in progress.
Yeah, I don't have a
I'm
win
thinking
as yet.
that you don't have the result yet.
Oh, no, I actually do have a result.
Yeah.
I do have a result. It says that he won, but how is it that it looks like the game is still in progress? Time is ticking down. And knight takes
Knight
on
takes
e5.
e5.
That's a move.
Should
With the
completely
bishop
equalize,
hanging.
right?
And how do you do anything here?
I guess take a6, say I'm a pawn up.
Yep.
We all know it's a draw, but still, perhaps.
No, but if he can give a check, a matter of fact, he can play.
Knight d7 check. King c4.
He should have been able to play knight d3 check, no? Oh no, but the pawn, and now a little bit of attitude. He realizes there's no chance after rook to d6, and he's just pushing his pawn. He can't get past the square, and that is indeed a draw. Could we see the game we're talking? Is it a game? Dubov? No, the game is
Yeah,
now.
Dubov's game's over. I think everything like top 10 at the very least is over. And in fact, I do not see any games in progress on like top 30 boards.
All right, well then, we've done our job.
Uh,
We've done our job.
man.
All those boards we were making sure we just tracked, but we have winners, and that's the most important thing. In the Open, the youngster pulled it off in a miracle style, incredible performance, one for the ages, in Volodar Murzin winning this tournament. Didn't see that one coming, but he fully deserved it, and I'm very curious to see what this young man's career looks like in the next few years. Hopefully it's not one and done, but the way he played in this tournament, it suggests that he's got incredible talent.
Right, absolutely. I'm trying to figure out if it's possible to tell the second and third place. Yes, there is. So,
Let me hear it. Let us hear it.
Wait a second. You were talking about India winning everything, Musin first, and Grishuk Nepo tied for the second.
Okay.
That was, that was a success.
That's a one
That was a
country
success.
taking it all. All right, bringing all the medals back to Russia in this case. But still, spectacular result for the
First
youngster.
and foremost, of course, Volodar, absolutely amazing performance.
And in the women's section, it was, of course, this great result by Humpy Canero. Another miracle, by the way, at the very end, as she won the tournament. Just a rook and pawn ending that was drawn. It was definitely equal. Should have been going to tie breaks, but it never happened. As we see here, the final standings for the women, 8.5 points. Humpy Canero stands tall with 8.5 with the women's world champion Ju Win-jun and a number of other players, Katerina Lagno, Tanjong Yi, Harika Jonavali, and Alexandra Kostenyuk, as well as Afruza. Look at that, Kamdamova.
Yeah,
also
that's a great
coming
success.
up.
Yeah, that's a great success.
That's an unusual one. I was reading all the other names, and we were like, yeah, sure. But this Uzbeki star showed her stuff and was able to pull it off in the end and get to 8 points. So great success for her. She will be smiling with her New York debut. So that is that one. My friend, this was a show. I have to
This was
say,
a
these
show.
3 days of Rapids were simply
Wow.
incredible. They were amazing to call. First time we got a chance to do it, and we got a special treat indeed. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Maurice.
What a pleasure.
It was a great pleasure of mine, and I hope that folks at home enjoyed the show. There will be more coming. So tomorrow is
Day
a
off.
free day, but after tomorrow, make sure to tune in because there will be 2 days of Blitz.
That's right. Tomorrow is the Wall Street Gambit will be a conference. Maybe those of you who bought tickets to come listen to some incredible insights, the relationship between chess and finance. There'll be some amazing speakers. If you are able, great to be there. I'll be here moderating that as well. So I don't get a day off for the weary. You get to relax, buddy. But anyway, you do that. And as you said, Miro, we'll be back in 2 days to begin the Blitz. You don't want to miss that. The action will be fast and furious. Pieces, I guarantee, will be hung in some way, shape, or form. There'll be blunders, but there'll also be brilliancies, and we'll be here to call it. For my colleague here, Yevgeny Miroshnichenko,